welcome back to my channel, or if you're new, welcome. My name is Katie, and today we're back in the kitchen for another What's for Dinner video. I have 3 really yummy recipes to share with you guys. I'm going to be making broccoli and cheddar soup, which is a crock pot recipe. Then I'm going to be making Baja Shrimp, and then I'm going to be making American Goulash. So I'm super excited for all of these recipes. They are all new recipes that I had not made before, or I hadn't made them this specific way. So I'm super excited for this, and I hope that this brings you some inspiration if you're looking for ideas to make for dinner for your family this week. So let's get right into it. Okay, here are the main ingredients that we will be using to start with. We have 2 cans of cream of celery. We need 5 cups of chicken broth, so I'll be using 1 of these and then maybe a little bit of the second one. We have some cayenne pepper, salt, regular pepper, broccoli cuts, and then it said that you could shred up or dice up some carrots, but like 2 regular sized carrots. I just decided that I want to use this whole bag of shredded carrots. So that's what I'll be using. And then I also am going to dice up an onion, which I forgot to put out right here. So this is what we're going to start with. And then after this is cooked for several hours, we'll add in the cheese. So this is a crock pot recipe, so it's going to be super easy, which I love. So basically you're going to dump all of the wet ingredients and the vegetables and the spices into your crock pot. Let it cook all day, low, 6 to 8 hours. If you want to cook it on high, probably for 4 hours. And then after it's cooked almost all the way, at the end, about an hour before you're ready to eat it, that's when you're going to go back and add the cheeses in. So leave the cheeses out for now. I'm going to add everything in, which you'll see. You can also go look on the recipe in my description box for exact measurements of things. I guess I didn't get a clip of me dumping in the broccoli and carrots, but just believe that I did. You'll see them floating around in there in just a minute. Now that everything is added except for the cheese, I'm going to stir it up really good and then let it cook for several hours. Then after it's been cooking all day, I'm going to come back, I'm going to shred up my cheese and then cut up my block of Velveeta cheese and then add those to the crock pot and let it cook until those cheeses are really melted because you want the cheese to blend well with the soup. Now the original recipe does call for an immersion hand blender that you're supposed to put into the soup to kind of blend up some of those chunks of the broccoli and carrots. I don't own one of those, so I just used my Pampered Chef meat chopper thing as good as I could to try to chop up some of the chunks. So mine was a bit chunkier than I guess what yours would be if you had an immersion blender. Yours would be a lot smoother, but I think it still came out really good. I actually like chunky soup, so that worked out pretty good for me. So here I am adding the cheese, and then we're going to let that melt for about 30 minutes to an hour. Once that's all melted, we'll give it another good stir to make sure that it's blended really well, and then it'll be ready to eat. Here's what the soup looks like after it was all done. I just added a little bit of pepper to the top because I really love pepper. This soup was so hearty. It really filled you up. It's just a really good meal to make on a cold fall or winter night. The next meal I'm going to be making is Baja Shrimp. The whole idea of this meal came from a seasoning packet that I found at Walmart, and the seasoning packet is Baja Shrimp seasoning, and this recipe is on the back of the seasoning packet, so that is where I got this from. So it calls for halved cherry tomatoes, so I cut those in half really quick, and then I found these hush puppies also at Walmart, so I went ahead and put these in the oven to go along with this meal. This is a really quick meal to make. It does not take long at all. So there is the Baja Shrimp seasoning. I'm going to melt a little bit of butter, and then we'll mix that seasoning in really good with some olive oil, and then we will cook the shrimp. And shrimp, if you have cooked them before, they don't take long at all. They are very quick and easy to make. So this is a great meal to make on weeknights if you're really busy and you just need something quick, but you still want something, homemade that's not like fast food or something like that. This was really good, and it's something different. We don't have seafood all too often, so it was fun to eat something different than what we usually eat. Here's what the shrimp look like after they've been cooking a few minutes in that sauce. Don't they look so good? So then I made some brown rice. It was just like the ready-made minute rice that you make in the microwave, because I really needed this to be a very quick meal. So if you use that kind of rice, it makes this even easier and even quicker. So I just put the shrimp over the rice, and then we had some of those hush puppies on the side, and that was dinner tonight. It was really yummy, and like I said, very quick, very easy, and just something different than what we usually have. The last meal in today's video, this is a new one for me. This is American goulash. I had never made this before, but I was browsing Pinterest, as I often do, for different meal ideas, and saw this one pop up, and I thought that it looked pretty easy and really yummy. And this is also one of those very hearty meals that is perfect on a cold fall or winter night. So my husband went ahead and diced up the onion for me, because if you guys have watched my videos before, you know I hate cutting onions. They hurt my eyes so much. So he'd already done that, and then I went ahead and diced up a red pepper and a green pepper. And then you're going to need a pound of ground beef, and I had already bought some the other day, and when I was cooking a different meal, I went ahead and made 2 pounds and then stuck this pound, this half of it, in the freezer, so I already had that cooked, which was great. I didn't have to do that. It was still a little bit frozen. It was thawed enough. So I went ahead and just dumped it in the pot with the onions and peppers, and then sauteed that over the stove, which helped thaw it up even more. I was able to break it up after it had been on the stove for a few minutes. After you've sauteed your peppers and onion for a little bit, then you're going to add all your seasoning. So I used onion powder, garlic powder, Italian seasoning. I used some pepper and some minced garlic. I love garlic. And you're just going to, basically with goulash, you can really do whatever you want. You can make it your own. If you like a certain type of seasoning, go for it. It doesn't have to be exact. This is one of those meals that you can put a little bit of this, a little bit of that, really customize it and make it your own to whatever is your family's liking. I added a couple dashes of Worcestershire sauce, which I think added a really nice touch. And then let all of that saute for a few more minutes. After that had sauteed for a few more minutes, then you're going to add the last of the ingredients. So we used a can of beef broth and a can of diced tomatoes. That was a regular size can, and then a big can of crushed tomatoes. So you're going to add all of that up, and it's going to be pretty liquidy, which is fine because we're about to add some macaroni noodles. And when you add the macaroni noodles, you're going to do them dry, uncooked. And they're going to cook in the sauce, and they will absorb some of that liquid, so it won't be like soupy. It'll be more of like a chili texture when it's almost done, which you'll see in just a minute. Now we're going to add our elbow macaroni noodles right into the goulash uncooked, and like I said, they will cook in the sauce, so you're going to want to cook it for another about 8 to 10 minutes, and they will absorb some of that liquid. The longer you let it sit, the more liquid it will absorb. So in the end, it really does come out to like a very chunky, almost like a chili texture. It's not runny at all. Okay, so here's what it looks like when it's all done. I did add a little bit of shredded cheddar cheese on top. That's what the recipe recommended. And then I found these Sara Lee Hawaiian rolls, which made a really nice side for this. We really liked this meal. It was so hearty. It was so nice and warm. It was relatively very easy and quick to make. So I definitely recommend giving this a try if you've never made American goulash before. I hadn't, but we really liked this, and we will be adding this into our regular rotation. Okay, so that is what our family had had for dinner this week. All 3 meals were really yummy. They were all really pretty easy, and they were all winners. They were all really good. Would definitely make them again. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I hope that it did give you some inspiration. If you did enjoy it, please make sure to like this video and give it a thumbs up. That would really help out my channel. And if you like this kind of content, I would love for you to subscribe, become a part of my YouTube family. I love to do these What's for Dinner videos. I do have a playlist on my channel that has a couple different What's for Dinner videos. So if you want more inspiration, go check out that playlist. I'll try to link it above here. And thank you guys so much for the support. It really does mean the world to me. As a small YouTuber, I just really appreciate all of the support and the love that you guys have given me and continue to give me. So I hope you guys have a great week, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.
I will let my guard down.